A key new date in the Howard Terminal ballpark saga may have just emerged. During the Alameda County Board of Supervisors meeting on Tuesday, Debbie Kern from Kaiser Marston, the independent firm analyzing the IFD and whether or not the financials work for the Alameda County and the city of Oakland, said that she heard September 20th is the day they want to have all this figured out and voted on.
The next step beyond that for Kaiser Marston will be to review the draft IFP when it is complete and submitted to the county for its review. The city is targeting September 20th, 2022 for the approval of the project.
September 20th. Now that actually makes a whole lot of sense. That date is not official, but it fits perfectly. If you look at our handy timeline, which I keep bringing up here, hand-drawn, you already note that on September 6th, there's a study session planned. That's because Oakland City Councilmember Noel Gallo called for a study session to go over all the information as it pertains to the financial analysis of the waterfront ballpark district. It fits exactly into 9-6. If they have everything figured out by then, development agreement, community benefits agreement, they would sit down with the city council in a public meeting on September 6th, go over all the information, and then have a few weeks to figure it all out before taking a final binding vote on those terms, which would be huge. That would be massive. That would be the big one. September 20th might be the big one as it relates to Howard Terminal. Now, of course, June 30th, coming up quick, is the BCDC vote. That is Declare Port Priority Use Area designation from Howard Terminal, meaning the land would be available for the A's to develop a stadium and housing there. That's coming up next. I think after that, if it goes well, they're really going to ramp up the negotiations, which I already hear are happening constantly, ever happening, evolving, but not figured out yet. And that's a big thing. If they get past the BCDC, they know they have the green light, then they got to hammer out those final terms. Because September 6th is going to come really fast. And if they don't have it figured out by then, it's going to be a bit of a problem. You already saw that rear its ugly head a little bit during the Alameda County Board of Supervisors meeting on Tuesday. They had Debbie Kern there to answer questions. And she really didn't have any answers because she's waiting for information to come from the city of Oakland.
They give us updates, they've given us responses to our questions, but there are some items that are outstanding still. And like this is one of them. And they say we're developing it and it should be in a couple of weeks. But we've been hearing the couple of weeks for a while.
So we don't have a drop dead date for them. We're sitting here spinning our wheels, spending somebody else's money, and the city is continuing to push back the date by which they give us critical components.
I don't know. They're in the middle of these negotiations with this developer, and it's a dynamic situation. And so, I think I don't know how often they meet with them, but it's anyway. So we're not part of those negotiations, on that team. But anyway, they're trying to work through these things. And
can we ask you, Debbie, to say that by whatever date they give it to you, that you might have X number of weeks for roughly that you would need to process that and then do your part?
We can do that.
Until she has the full picture, the financial analysis, which the Alameda County Board of Supervisors asked for, which is being paid for by the A's, they're going to take care of the whole cost, it can't be complete. So there's a lot of spinning going around in the Alameda County Board of Supervisors meeting. A lot of questions and a lot of non-answers because, as Debbie put it in the meeting, they're waiting. They have to figure out the full amount of numbers before they can even answer any of the questions. So it's a big, complex negotiation, and they have to get the final terms. That's key. Something else that was kind of interesting in that Alameda County Board of Supervisors meeting, Nate Miley asking some pretty strange questions.
The city certified the environmental documents, right? Both the city and the port have certified the environmental document. Yes, no, nobody knows? Okay, and the city's still negotiating with the A's. Okay,
That's what we're aware of, yes.
but have they certified the environmental document?
I believe they have, but I thought there was a period where they could appeal, so I'm not sure.
That's it. And do we know if that's been challenged at all
It is my understanding that there have been challenges
to the environmental document?
the environmental report. We've seen some documents that
We don't,
seem to indicate that, you know, obviously we're not parties to that.
Yeah. but we don't know where that is in terms of because I'm trying to get a sense of, I know we need to do our work, but I'm trying to get a sense of how all this kind of sequence itself in.
Is there an EIR? I mean, that was major news when they certified the EIR. Are there legal challenges? That was also pretty big news. I know that they have more important things to do, and this may not be their main focus right now, but that is pretty basic information. I would expect that he would know that. So I don't know if that was grandstanding or what that was about. It was kind of odd, but alas, I don't know. This whole process is very confusing, which is why I post these videos. So how we know what is coming up here? Friday, probably. Maybe Thursday, probably Friday this week. The BCDC is going to put out their final staff recommendation. That is huge because it will tell us how they will likely vote on June 30th when they do the final vote on the Port Priority Use Area designation. The most recent preliminary recommendation put out by the BCDC was in favor of the A's. After their big meeting, I don't see any reason why that will change. So by the end of this week, we will have that final recommendation. That final recommendation will, of course, be taken under consideration by the commissioners ahead of the vote. They need 18 votes total to clear that land for development for the A's. We'll see what happens June 30th. That's going to be a big day. But as of right now, things are starting to come into view a little bit, and that is very interesting. End of this week, final staff recommendation. June 30th, BCDC vote. September 6th, study session by the City Council. And then maybe September 20th, the big binding vote. Keep in mind, we've already had binding votes. The EIR certification was one, a huge one.
On item 5, moved by Vice Mayor Kaplan, second by Councilmember Taylor to approve the staff recommendation. Councilmember Fife? No. Gaio?
No.
Call?
Aye.
Kaplan?
Aye.
Reed?
Aye.
Taylor?
Aye.
Tao?
Aye.
Boss?
Aye.
Item 5 is approved. Well, item 5.1 is approved with a vote of 6 ayes, 2 noes.
The waiting game continues for the A's and Howard Terminal. Binding vote season is here.